What's up, guys and gals? It's time we'll be checking out the Universim again. They're dropping updates at a reasonable rate. That's one of the reasons why I had to stop the last series, is because the versions don't compute. Whenever they upgrade the version, it kills my save. But this time around, we've got medieval update, which means we are no longer stuck in caveman times, and that is rad. Cavemen are cool and everything. Like, I love having a pterodactyl for a TV or whatever, but I want to see some of that medieval action. So let's start off a new life and do this thing. For those of you that haven't seen the game yet, it's kind of like a really graphically awesome, I don't know, world manager. I'm not even really sure what to call it, because you don't actually have control over anything. You just sort of like build settlements, and then cavemen move in, and then they invent things. And you're like, okay, that's pretty cool. Apparently we've invented fishing. Rad! But anyway, it's a pretty cool little life manager sim where you've got a little city and you've got to manage it and make sure they don't all die of tuberculosis or whatever it is that cavemen died of. No, I do not want the tutorials. I'm pretty sure I already know how to play. Let's take a look. Take a look. It's on our planet. So we've got a big old like Dong River over there. We got to pick a place that we want to put our settlement. And so trying to figure out where the best spot. What is that, like a giant mushroom? Oh no, that's like a little weird critter thing. Gotcha. Okay, let me pan the camera around ever so slightly. I may start us off building, right, what is that thing in the water? Is that a sea monster? Dude, that better not be a sea. Is that a whale that's stuck half in and half out of the wall? Whale! Do you need help? Go brrrr if you need an assist. Well, he didn't brrrr. Maybe it's one of those weird mole whale hybrids. Yes, the fantasy mole whale. I think I'll probably build like right over here. We want to find a place that's got like some pretty dope stuff to start out with. And we've got stone right there. We've got our little settlement right here. So you know what? That's where it's going to be. Our evolution tower will begin. Meow. And so there it is. The evolution tower has been placed. And as you can see, we end up with two of these little guys. I think they're called nuggets or something like that. Skip the tutorial right there. I'm pretty sure I said no to that. Go away. Nope, please stop. Nope. Yes, I would love to skip the tutorial. And so basically they should go to work just like building and expanding and putting stuff all over the place. In the meantime, there are things that we can do. We can choose which like research we want to do. So we've got primitive tools, we've got clothing, we've got primitive waterworks, and we've got camels. I think I'll probably go with waterworks because we're going to need water before too long. Basically, you get two researches at a time. You get like a little research right here, and I think only certain stuff can go into this research, whereas you also have this slot where you can do certain things as well. So yeah, there it goes. The yellow ones go into this slot. We give them elbow grease, which is going to make them a little bit stronger. It takes longer to get that research done, but all of these can be researched in here, which is pretty rad. Inside of our building menu, we've got production buildings. Can't do anything there. We've got adaptation. We've got industrial stuff. Oh, we've got an archive. The archive allows me to save my game, in case you were wondering. This game has kind of an interesting system where you have an archive, and then like a librarian lives there, and the librarian occasionally saves your game. It's kind of a weird system, but I like it in a weird way. I really do. I like it in kind of an odd... It's hard to describe why I like it. I just do, okay? I just do. Just let me have this. Like, don't force me to critique and like talk about stuff that I don't want to do. I like what we got. Oop, I don't want to use special powers. I don't have special powers, so I don't want my god to use special powers. In this game, you are a god. You're allowed to do godly stuff. You can conjure water and whatnot for people if you really want to. I'll probably put this well in, like, right here so that we can have water and, like, not die of thirst. I don't know. That should be, like, the first thing that most humans set out to, not dying of thirst. Over here, they'll build a little house. They'll go in there. They'll have crazy, like, they'll have ridiculous Neanderthal monkey sex. They'll do all kinds of random stuff. There's a turtle right there. You can pet it if you want to. I wouldn't recommend it. They bite. And when they bite, they tend to take off fingers when they do that. So watch out for those shenanigans. Let's go ahead and speed the game up for just a minute. We'll put it on a little bit higher speed. On this side, it looks like they're building a stone hut. And over here, I think that's like a ritual circle. I think that's useful later on. I don't know. They build it every time I build my city. And it's like a little crop circle or something. I don't know. It looks like something an extraterrestrial conjured from a bad art class. And I don't know what it is. But hey, if they want to artistically express themselves, who am I to be the guy to be like, yo, caveman, stop trying to be all creative and shit. Why don't you just sit around and be miserable like I expect you to? Now we have the news and history down there. Let's do another research. We've got clothing. I think that's a pretty good idea. It makes their health go up. You've also got iron gut and bigger buckets. Let's go for this because it gives us a building, the engineer's hut. If I remember right, the engineer's hut makes it such that you can repair your buildings or something like that. As you go further into the game, your buildings will get wear and tear as people live inside of them and do nasty things to one another in order to create new caveman children and cavewomen children. You can see here we've already got a little one following these people around. That guy's got kind of like his One Direction hair. She's got her pigtails. I get it. Whatever works for them, I'm happy for. I'm not a hater. Deep down at the end of the day, I'm not a hater. That's not who I am. Some people are haters. Just hardcore haters. Just hating all day long. I just want people to be happy. I don't care about nothing other than, oh my god, is that a mammoth? Holy shit, they added animals to the game that are like mammoths, and what does it say on its face? Oh, that's very offensive in mammoth language. He's a mammoth gangbanger. That's incredibly offensive. He's done time in the pen. Not the human pen, though. The mammoth pen. It's way worse. If you ain't never spent any time in the mammoth pen, it can be bad. It can be really bad. The primitive tools research is done, so let's find something else we can do over here. Clothing sounds great. We've got huge muscles. Yeah, I'll do... Let's go ahead and we'll get clothing because it gives them extra health in case they start getting sick or whatever. Keeps them warm. Primitive tools is done and taking effects. We have new nugget adults. Hell yeah, they will start to die and stuff too. Like, these people live full life cycles inside of your city. What kind of spells do I have? I have telekinesis. Lacupadon is the gift of love. We can kickstart. Okay, we can rejuvenate. And we've got tornado. I don't know why I'd want to do that. I'm going to windstorm, happiness, trickles. All kinds of little things in there. Nothing that I want to cast right now, though. Everybody seems reasonably happy. I don't see a reason why we should do anything. Every single one of these guys has their own skills. So this is Abbas. Abbas will have all kinds of... he's a boss. He's got all kinds of little things. He's got, like, you can mouse over them to find out what they are. They've got, you know, how rested they are, their water, their food, their overall health, how old they are. Once they get to interval 2, they're able to work. We've got their happiness levels. We've got their might, which actually changes based on the amount of technology they have. So that's not just like a physical measure of their strength, although some of them do have better strength than others. Everybody in your society gets a buff once you invent certain things. So if you're like, oh, I've invented machetes, for the sake of the game, everybody's strength seems to go up by like X amount because they now have tools that make their lives a little bit easier and amplify their strength. There's our well. I'm pretty sure we need some kind of like water pump or something for this to work. I don't recall exactly. There's something we can do with that, and I think we should probably investigate it. We can go with fishing. I think that's a pretty good idea, or farming. Let's go with farming for right now. I'm going to research farms. That'll take a little bit of time. Let's dive on in here, and before they do anything else, I wanted to look at the Waterworks Infrastructure. So yeah, there's the reservoir. We generate water, it goes into there, and then people can take water from the reservoir to the wells, and I think they dump it in or something like that. We should also have a water pump, which they impressively build out of rocks and shit. Don't ask me how they do it. I couldn't do it. If you were like, yo, build me a water pump out of like some rocks, I'd be like, you understand I have no engineering background whatsoever. What you're going to end up with is a pile of rocks that does nothing. I'm a geologist. My skills are related to digging holes and staring at rocks like they've got some magical secret inside of them. That's all that I do. That's all that I do. Leave that stuff to the engineers. They get more happy and chuffed up about it anyways. Like, when an engineer accomplishes something, they get all happy. Just let them have it. You know, leave it. We'll be the idea guys, and the engineers can do all the nitty-gritty and figure it out and tell us all the reason why our dreams won't take place. We've got a well over here in the middle of town. It looks like it's filling up with water very slowly. These little rings along the outside edge. One of the best things about this game is actually the presentation. I feel like they do a really good job of making the game pretty. And we've got the epicenter. So we've got engineers over here. Yeah, let's get an engineering center. Who wants to be a engineer? There we go. Engineer. Inside of there, what does that say? That's got like a no water thing on it. Food consumption is 4.8. How much food do we have right now? My estimation is probably not enough. Oh, we've got 30 down there? Okay. I can live with that. If we can get some water generation up and running, I'd feel better about this. Each one of these pips is a drink of water for your little guys. So when their health gets low or when their water gets low, they'll walk over and they'll be like, boom! And they'll drink some water and they'll be like, ooh, I feel so hydrated. Which is good because it keeps the skin supple and soft. What is this guy doing over here? A boss and Aho have fallen in love. He's mining stone. Okay, that's pretty cool. It looks like Abos and Aho have fallen in love, and so they are going to start to make babies. You don't have to worry about huts or any of, like, the normal buildings that are just around. They'll take care of those on their own. As you can see right here, he's actually building a new hut that they can live inside of as we speak. Getting the job done. Once again, if you asked me to build a house from scratch, wouldn't be able to do it. Wouldn't be able to do it. I could do a lean-to if you give me, like, some sticks and some leaves and stuff like that. I don't think you're going to want to live in there long-term, though. Like, I've got a rough idea of how, like, fern binding works for making roof tiles and stuff like that. Like, if you're going to make, like, a thatched roof, I have a rough idea how that works. Like, you take a bundle, and then you sit it across some cross beams, and then you sit another one down, and you sit another one down, and you do that all the way across the roof on the cross beams, then you tie them off and you tighten them, which makes it fine, and then you fill in the extra space, and you tie it off and you tighten it again. I'm pretty sure that's how it works, but for the whole house thing, like, if you wanted me to build the walls and whatever, I didn't play with Legos, and I didn't play with Lincoln Logs and stuff like that when I was a kid, and I failed the SATs, so I don't think that's going to work out. That might be above my pay grade. I'd be kind of like the Johnny Bravo of the cavemen and just kind of sit there and bang my head on rocks to everyone else's advantage. That's just the way that I see it. This thing over here, looking pretty good. It's got some water inside of it. It looks like people are drinking right now. Slow on down. You don't want to get waterlogged. I need you guys to do lots and lots of labor. So if you get waterlogged, I'm going to be upset with you. The game does have seasons, so it'll be winter pretty soon, and in winter, like, certain things don't work. So, for example, your farms and your fisheries and stuff like that. Elbow grease is done. Okay. Well, we can put in power naps so their stamina recovery goes up. Or we can add that to the... Yeah, do fishing next. Add that to the queue. And then research power naps, I guess. These come up randomly. You always get certain ones at the beginning of the game. But in order to make the game feel a little bit different each time you play, it seems to me like the researches are scrambled. You get, like, some of them sometimes early. Like, I've gone a while without researching farming before. And I've gotten fishing straight off the bat. Stuff like that. And so keep an eye on it. We should make a fisherman's hut out here at some point. I love the... What is that right there? Is there something in the water right there? Are those like tunas? I mean, I think tunas go in oceans. But I don't know the scale of like what we're looking at right here. Oh, the whale freed... No, he didn't. Never mind. He's still apparently just endoed into the side of the hill. He's bad at driving, okay? Nobody bring it up. He's very self-conscious about it. That hut is done. They are rocking the foundations of love over here. They're getting down with a little bit of that. They're borrowing some friction from one another. Anybody got a cup of friction? That's what's going on right there, so watch out for that. Nuggets report that agriculture was a little tricky, but they got it done. That's good. So let's start a farm. Let's do that. We got resource management. Every single time I've got to go through every tab because I never know what I'm looking at. We should probably do a reservoir around here somewhere. I think you can only place buildings when the game's not paused, if I remember right. Yeah, we'll put that right there. And the other thing that we needed was a farm. That's what it was. We got resources. Nope, that's for a pump. We've got that right there. Epicenter new. That's not what I wanted. Where's the farm at? Farm is around here somewhere. We got a stone mine on that side. Got a warehouse right there. Ah, there's our farm. The farm is ginormous, in case you didn't notice that already. The farm is huge, and really it can be a pain in the ass to place. So watch out for that a little bit. I think if I put it like right there, that'll be okay. And that'll give us something. They'll grow plants and whatnot over there. We've got to assign workers to it. But once we do, they'll sit around and they'll grow like, I don't know. They've got like, the names are weird. They've got like frozen nut fruits and like exploding bloody diarrhea plants and all kinds of stuff like that. Like, it's weird. Like, just don't contemplate it too much, and you should be able to make it through here without too many problems. We have no workers on that side. They've put down their little sign that says they have no water, which is great. I can assign a nugget over here, and I think engineering is dictated by strength, so we probably want Elu on the job. And so there you go. Different stats dictate different things, and so you usually want to pick the person who's best at the job in order to make stuff go the way that you want. They're working on building a reservoir over here. The reservoir is super cool because what the reservoir does is it takes the water from this thing and it stores it up so that if we need water anywhere else in our base, they will go with buckets and they'll start moving water in between locations and making it happen. Pretty sweet stuff. Winter's going to be here pretty soon. They're felling trees on this side. I think you get like logs or something from felling trees. I don't know. You don't get to keep track of any of your resources. Well, you do, I guess, down here. But we don't have a stockpile, so we're not going to know what we have. I probably should have picked an area that has a little bit less forest. We've got a lot of forest running around right now, and unfortunately, it is in the way. We used to call these... See, when you're a geologist, you don't want to go to places where there's green stuff, because that means you can't see what's underneath without causing, like, massive damage. And so, typically, most geology is done out in the middle of nowhere in a desert. You can do it in, like, grasslands or whatever, but it's a pain. You gotta, like, put down flags, and, like, for example, you'll find a rock bed over here, but there's, like, all kinds of plants everywhere, so you put a flag on it, then you walk a line over to the next part, and then you estimate the angle, and it's stupid. It's stupid, and it takes forever, and I hate it. Don't. It's awful. Like, it's not fun. It's mostly you walking the same acre all day, running tape and lines and flags all over the place. And you don't need to do the fun stuff, the trigonometry, till way later. At least to my mind, the trigonometry is the fun stuff. That's what I like to do. That's what I think is the fun stuff, the trig. So how you guys doing over here? Everything going well? Chopping down some trees, making sure we got room for a little farm or whatever? That's cool. As soon as you get done with that, I'll probably put in a fisherman's lodge over here so that they can go out on this little weirdly constrained ocean. The angle of the planet makes me feel like the water would... I don't know what water would do in this situation, but water on a sphere seems like a weird... This place must have tons of gravity. That's all I can hope for. And as you can see, our little guys are no longer wearing leaves anymore. They're not naked and covering their jiggle bits with, you know, plant life. Now they're wearing clothing. We can do cooking. That's pretty cool. We can make a restaurant. We can get the warehouse. Yeah, let's do the restaurant. They get a bonus when they go to the restaurant, in case you were wondering. It makes them... It makes them get like a passive bonus from eating that normally they don't get when they're just eating raw food like that right there. We should have the food supply to be alright for a while. Did we finish off? Oh yeah, fishing's done. So let's find the fishery. There it is. So we'll put in a fisherman's dock right there. That'll give us easy access to a food supply, so long as it's not winter. In winter, all of the water freezes over. And so I'm assuming most of the water around here is not salt water. It's almost all fresh because it all freezes. It actually becomes like a thing that they can like walk on and stuff, and your boats get stuck in it. Lots of weird little details in this game that I'm sure you'll enjoy as you play along. So this right here, as you can see, the reservoir is filling up with water. That's because it's in close proximity to the pump. The further away you put it, the slower it fills. And so this one is actually filling faster than most of the ones that I've ever seen. Be careful there's no diseases in the water or whatever. It can cause problems for you and, you know, sabotage your long-term process. Mammoth, you want to help out with this? The Flintstones taught me that you are a useful tool to be utilized. So, like, you want to come over and knock out some trees with your weird little pit bull butt? I don't know. I like mammoths. I like stumpy animals. I can't help it. That's why I have a bulldog. If you've got, like, a stumpy animal, they're always cute. Like, they've just been born and they have no idea what they're getting into. Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Power naps is done, so we can find some other stuff. Tactical evisceration. We can gut fish faster. Yeah, do that. That sounds great. That sounds like something that I would love to have. It's weird that we're wearing, like, shitty clothing when we have the ability to manufacture tarps. I don't know. Maybe our ability to plasticize has gone up higher than I thought it has, but I don't know. Our surplus for right now, total number of prepared dishes is what that is. Okay. That's cool. What is that, mana? Oh, it's gas. So we can end up with gas later on. Yeah, I've heard rumors that in the later parts of this game, you can have, like, nuclear wars and stuff. And you can, like, they're planning on making it go planet to planet, as far as I know. This is one of those games that I'm not sure will ever actually be done. It's kind of like Dwarf Fortress, where, like, I get the feeling the developers, this is a passion project for them. And it's hard to put down passion projects, but, like, I've seen screenshots and whatnot of in-development stuff where there's, like, rockets taking off the planet, you can go to space and, like, explore new worlds and stuff like that. I don't know if that's 100% true, but that's what I extrapolated from it because I like to make shit up on the internet. Yay for me! We've got 2 huts over here. Hell yeah, they're still chopping that down. Uhu is now mature enough to handle copious amounts of manual labor. Okay, we've got our fisherman's lodge over here. Is anybody good at fishing? Like, how hard is it to fish? Like, what stat does it take to fish? I don't know. Education. Chahu, you want to be a fisherman? There you go, a fisherwoman. There's already some... Dude, they carved, like... See, you guys could have got this up faster if you didn't spend a bunch of time carving fish into the ground. It's below freezing right now? Well, that sucketh. That's terrible. That's pretty cold. I'm not a fan. 8 degrees Celsius. If I go upwards, do they have temperature like out into space? Oh, they do. That's pretty cool. Nice. They have like temperature by altitude, I guess. 9 degrees Celsius. Yikes. That's reasonably chilly. It's not like the worst day ever. It's like, what, in the 40s in there somewhere? 40s, low 50s? I don't know. My mental calculations are slow with the 14 over the 9 plus 22. We can do fishing lures, which make us better at fish gutting. We can't learn that right now. Go ahead and do warehouse research. And we just got access to cooking, which is pretty sweet. And it makes it so that... Has this gotten any better? I think we can upgrade this as time goes along. And it'll actually fill out with more... Yeah, it's snowing right now. That sucks. And so that place is going to go offline because it's winter, and so it only works in certain seasons. The same can be said for our farm over here once it gets done. Luckily enough, they tend to leave you with, like, enough stuff to make it through the first year, as I recall. Oh, we've got 30 wood and 5 stone, so apparently something went into storage. Or at least it's that stat right. Maybe that's what that is. Maybe that's where they store their resources. I don't see anything sitting right there, though. I was thinking maybe it was like a storage pile or something. That's our research building. We're working on research already, so we don't really need to worry about that. We can go in, and I don't want to look at you right now. What is that? Creator powers. Yeah, I don't need that either. What do I want to build right now? I want to build something pretty rad. The farm is able to stand on its own 2 feet now. Why does our farm have feet? I don't know. We decided it needed to have feet. I'm not super sure how we rotate a building. I think it has to do with how close you can actually get one building to another. But your cities tend to build like in rings in this game. There we go. We'll put an archive right there so that we can save our game. Hopefully it doesn't patch anytime soon because I really want to make it to the medieval age, but I only have time right now to record like 3 episodes. So if we don't make it by then, we ain't making it at all. And that's just the sad truth of the matter. Then again, truths are all too frequently sad. I don't really know how to help with that. We can assign a nugget over here. Do we have anybody that doesn't suck at jobs? Sort by strength, I guess. And so with our strength sorted right now, we have him who. All right, him who, you now work at the farm. We can choose our crop for food and for herbs if you want to. Although herbs tend to grow in like weirder locations that are difficult. Looks like we can do a juicy acorn, and it looks like we can do. Is this outside of season? Is that what it is? Oh, it's not meant for the current biome. Okay, yeah, do healthy Molinas, I guess. Those look okay. I don't know what they are, but go ahead and grow them. I'm sure the weather is probably going to ruin this long before we ever see our first harvest. But it doesn't mean I'm not going to try. Down here you can see these little guys. They are doing their farming jobs. Tap, tap, tapping away at the soil. And so we probably just got to wait this out until the next season comes along. It's pretty cold right now. Minus 16 is colder than it gets where I live. The coldest it gets around where I am is like down to like 20-ish. Fahrenheit, I don't know what that is in Celsius, but it's got to be like around minus 10 or something. I don't know. Is that like, that's 12 degrees Fahrenheit down below, so the further you get from 0, the more, I don't know. I can't do the math in my head right now because I'm stupid. Let's put a nugget in here to be our archivist. This is reasonably easy, and it allows me to save my game. So we'll be like, fart will be the name of the game because that is the save game name that I always use. Always, no matter what. My save game is, if you're ever on a computer that's in a shared area and has a save game called Fart, I guarantee you it's Splattercat. I never grew up from childhood. I went straight from being a child to being an adult, and my brain never matured along with me, and so I don't have any control over that. They are... There we go. Gotta get the game kick-started. I was like, why is everything frozen? I clicked the play, right? I clicked the play, right? No, I clicked the wrong thing. Tactical evisceration is done. The good thing about winter is it gives you a bunch of time to research some other stuff. So we've got pump outputs and well water capacity. I'm going to go with well water capacity. After that, we'll go ahead and get fishing lures, which I don't think you can add these to the queue down here. These are like the special technologies, and these are like knowledge or something. I don't know exactly how it's... I don't know precisely how those two things are denoted, but like... It seems like one of them has more to do with general research, and one of them has to do with specific upgrades. And so it might just be research versus passive upgrades for all your little people. Is this still growing right here? If it is, fantastic. Like, it looks like the temperature's a little bit too low, but... Yeah, I think the farmers stopped doing what they were doing. Did they hang up the freezing flag over here? I guess not. We'll make some farms that can do other stuff. I'll probably try to get the city to span from here over to this water so we can have 2 fishermen's huts. And then, I mean, we can have another one down this way. We have plenty of fishermen, so I don't see a major problem. If we put a farm in over here in a mountainous biome, then we could grow herbs as well for our doctors, which is a pretty smart idea. Because illness in this game will end your playthrough. At least it did when I played last. If you didn't have witch doctors and stuff like that, you will get banged on by the environment. So we're going to go with the witch doctor next so we can dance around and be like, ooh, ee, ooh, ah, ah, ting, tang, walla, walla, bing, bang. Ooh, ee, ooh, ah, ah, ting, tang, walla, walla, bing, bang, bang. Oh. Are they building a hut over here? Is that what that is? Oh, yeah, they're doing another stone hut. Good for them. Continue to expand out. It looks like we've got 3 of them right now. No, that counts as the farm. I don't think he's actually accomplishing anything right now because everything's frozen. So maybe what we'll do is we'll just wait a little while and see what occurs. All right, well, we got other projects we can play around with because we just unlocked the warehouse too. So if we put a warehouse in somewhere, I think putting that right there really kind of hosed me over. But the warehouse, if I can sneak it in somewhere over here, good lord. Not a whole lot of equitable spots that I can make this happen. You kind of want the warehouse to be centralized too, which is the rough part. I prefer that it be like over here somewhere maybe. Can that even be done? It doesn't look like we have space over here. Not that I can tell anyways. And I don't know how to... Oh, we can rotate it like that. Well, shit, all my buildings could have been much sexier. And now they're ugly. It's okay. I like the way this game builds organically. Some people don't like it when, like... I don't like it when everything is adjacent and everything looks pretty. That's one of the things that bugs me about, like, RTS is just like putting all your power here, putting your barracks over here. I get it for competitive play, but I like it when games have organic building where everything just kind of spreads out randomly. Like normal human cities used to back in the day. If you ever taken a look at like ancient cities, they're all over the place. They tend to like circle around and they've got roads that go places for no apparent reason. You're like, why is that even over there? What is this, a hut? A prayer enclave. What the hell is a prayer enclave? Maybe it gives me powers? I bet it helps out with my powers. I bet it makes me a better god. A kind, a just, and noble god. Chumbu has just been spat out into the world. Just, that's how babies are born. Just, they come straight out. I had to watch a video of a baby being born when I was in my health class, and it was the most traumatic thing I've ever watched. I grew up with Faces of Death, and if I had a choice, I want to see. That thing comes out of there like a xenomorph. Just like, it's brutal. Then I had to watch one where a lady like poops a baby into a bathtub. I don't know. Apparently babies like to be birthed into water or something. I don't know anything about this stuff. I don't have babies. I'm not about. I can barely take care of myself. That's my thing. I'm like, I don't know that I'm mature enough as an adult to put somebody else's well-being over my career and stuff that I want to do. So maybe it's just better if I don't have children. I don't know. It seems like the wise thing to do. But that's more of a hang-up on my end, and I feel like I'm a hang-up, so maybe I shouldn't have a kid. I got a lot of hang-ups. I'm just barely making it half the time. Y'all don't even know. Now, round cogs will make our pumps work better. I don't really care about that, but it's all we can do, so I guess we'll make the pump work a little bit better. My reservoir and my pump appear to be doing all right. So, we're living through the winter right now. Living through the winter. Winter! They can't draw water because winter's here. And so what you'll see is that the pump will start to slow down a little bit. The reservoir hasn't really been tapped, though, so I'm not upset about that. This should draw directly from either the reservoir or the pump. I don't know which. I think maybe they go to the reservoir after they get done with the pump or something like that. I don't know. That's the maximum amount that's left in the water. As they take water out of there, the water level will go down in this area, which is kind of an interesting thing. They've got traditional healing done. Yay, we can rub herbs on people until they feel better. Be like, oh, glorious marijuana. I rub you on this knee scrape. I'm like, I feel better already. Refined materials, local businesses, food preservation. There's some pretty cool stuff in here. Let's do refineries, I guess. I get the feeling at some point we're going to need refined goods, and so we're a refined people who require refined goods. What is that right there? A warehouse? We're already building that. That don't matter. Got the archive right there, and we should have some stuff. We got engineers. Hospital. Okay. Let's hospital on up. Like if I can fit the hospital over here somewhere. Yeah, that's cool. We got to chop down about 500 billion trees in order to make it work, but they're in the way anyways. Why stress about it? With that, we're out of time for the day. My name is Splattercat. This is the Universim. We are checking out the medieval update. Medievalness is happening. All kinds of middle evil. I will see you next time. Thank you for stopping on in. We'll probably be playing this until we get up to the point where we start getting... Oh, are we back to farming too? We are. Yay. Good. We're back to farming, so we should be able to work on our relative lack of food supplies pretty shortly. See you next time. Bye, everybody. If you want to get the game for yourself, get it down below. If you wanted to support the channel, you can do that by clicking on the like button. Aside from that, you can go to the Patreon. You can support through there. Or you can come hang out with me live, which is my personal favorite, at twitch.tv/SplatterCatGaming. Bye, everybody.